Brilliance Audio presents Once Night Falls by Roland Merullo, performed by Angelo Di Loretto. A hot day, even for Rome. In the Villa Torlonia, beside marble columns and beneath a sparkling chandelier, Benito Mussolini lunched on milk and fruit with his wife, Rachele. Il Duce frowned and fussed over the meal. Bland foods were all his doctors allowed him these days, and did battle with an army of annoying thoughts, a series of regrets that assaulted him from every direction. He tried to concentrate on the food, to ignore the cramps and spasms in his intestines, but the regrets persisted, coming at him again and again, like attacking battalions in waves. It seemed to him that he'd stayed married too long, stayed in power too long, that years ago he should have fled to Switzerland or Austria with Claretta Petacci, his young mistress, and lived a life of ease there, a life worthy of the sacrifices he'd made for fascism and for his country. He should be riding horses, playing tennis, writing his memoirs, flying his plane across the Alps to one ski resort or another, an idol, a hero, a modern-day Roman god. Instead, he was stuck in this government palace, in this marriage, and the nation he'd sewn together purely by the strength of his own will was unraveling. He blinked 4 times, quickly, and glared across the elegantly set table. Rachele's face, the straight nose and wide-set eyes, a face once attractive, but now creased and worn by time, was pinched up into an anxious mask. During the course of their midday meal, she'd been saying the same thing over and over again. Non andare, non andare, non andare, Benito. Don't go, don't go, don't go, Benito. And now, as he watched, trying to will her to be silent, she practically wailed. I don't trust this king, Benito. I've never trusted him. I never liked him. I had a dream last night that he took out a machine gun and shot you. Here. She pointed to her own chest. Don't go, Benito, please. But Vittorio Emanuele III, a pitifully small and hopelessly mild-mannered royal, inspired no fear in Mussolini. Not 2 weeks ago, the king had assured him of his loyalty and friendship, and at these regular Sunday meetings, he was unfailingly deferential, soft-spoken, and weak. Half a man. Il Duce turned his eyes to the floor-to-ceiling windows and out at the white-hot afternoon. Fear was to him an alien emotion. For weeks he'd been hearing warnings of a swelling dissatisfaction in parts of the Italian state. Regular as the sunrise, Rachele reported rumors of a coup d'etat. His daughter, the Countess Eddaciano, said that her well-connected friends were talking revolution, and that even her husband, Galeazzo, was complaining that Mussolini was driving the nation to ruin. Almost on a daily basis, aides claimed that this group or that, liberals, traitors, socialists, communists, his own supporters, were conspiring to replace him. Mussolini shrugged, stifled an urge to laugh. He'd survived combat in the trenches of World War I, decades of vicious political infighting, 3 assassination attempts. None of these people could touch him. True, things had not gone well of late. There had been strikes in the factories of the north and rumors of partisan fighters in the mountains there. 3 nights ago, the fascist Grand Council, full of doubters and betrayers, including his own son-in-law, had met for the first time in years, and by a small majority made a vote of no confidence in their leader. No confidence? Based on what? Yes, the Allies had staged a landing in southern Sicily and made modest advances there. Yes, Hitler was sending more and more troops and armament to secure the peninsula, because the Italians, he believed, had no fight in them. For weeks now, the Fuhrer had been pressing him to allow German control over all military actions in Italy, something Mussolini would never sanction. No confidence. What none of them, not even Rachele, seemed to understand was that the leader of the Italian people still had an enormous amount of fight in him, could still charm or intimidate the king, and was still confident that the Allies, inferior soldiers led by madmen, would soon be chased back into the sea. His Claretta saw what Rachele did not.